Hey, good evening everyone. My name is Sean and welcome back to another Freestyle Friday sessions where we're going to talk about leadership today. And before we get started, first of all, I want to thank you for your patience. Generally, I push these out in the morning or afternoon. However, I've been kind of bogged down with some other taskers that kind of dropped and I was unable to get this video out to you. However, thank you again for being patient. Again, thank you for your support. Those who subscribed over the time of my journey of creating the Freestyle Fridays, as well as my mentors that are pushing me to my next level and challenging me to get outside my comfort zone. So thank you again so much. If you like this content, please remind yourself or like, click, share, subscribe, all of the above, and make sure you hit that bell at the top so you get all my latest notifications when I drop another Freestyle Friday session. But if you know a little bit about what I've already been doing, I really sum things up into 5 categories in life, whether it's a trial, tribulation, a hardship, a success, a blessing, accomplishment. You really can sum it up into these 5 categories. And if you have other categories, drop a post down below or comment, and I'll be interested to see what you guys utilize. But it's physical, mental, social, spiritual, and financial. And I'm pretty sure you can sum up any of those categories and said you either had physical success, rather trying to lose weight, trying to gain weight, or a physical failure where I just been gaining weight and not losing weight, especially with COVID, right? Been eating a little bit more. I just had like 7 tacos. They were delicious, but nonetheless, that's not the topic for today. But think about those topics, think about those categories, and let me know what you think, okay? So, long story short, or nonetheless, I want to provide value and let me know how I'm doing. Give me a thumbs up. Continue with this support. I really think this is going somewhere. I really think in my heart that this is my calling to become a life coach and really reach out, but not only just individually, but I know my weaknesses and I understand where my weaknesses are, and I need a team. I need a strong team to surround myself around with, and where I can build my strengths against their weaknesses, and we can build each other up. It actually, it really hits home because Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, Chief Bass, she posted a thing earlier this week on her Facebook page and said, to build a strong team, you must see someone else's strength as a complement to your weakness and not a threat to your position or authority, which goes in kind of the topic that I'm going to discuss today, which is leadership. So let's get started, right? I want to talk about 3 things that can establish a good leadership to take their team to the next level: cohesiveness, trust, communication, all of those things, as well as a 4th thing that I'm going to mention on what you should stop doing or stop relying on. And then I'm going to end it off on wrapping all of that up into a nice pretty bow of something that you could build for your environment to build that next work center to that next mission success, to that next level, your leadership to that next level, for so on and so forth. Okay, so first things first, John C. Maxwell, I love that guy. He posted, or he came out with a quote. I'm going to quote him, paraphrase a little bit, but leadership is about one's life influencing another. Okay, and when you strip that back, I've never really been influenced by, I've been motivated by some quotes and some motivational speakers and so on and so forth, but influence is really about building relationships, and that's what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to build relationships in a community. So you can really only build, for me, influence by building a relationship. And how do you build a relationship? And if you really look at the foundation of leadership, it really is all about relationships. And so that's number 2, right? So number 1 is the top of the pyramid. You want to influence people. Okay, you want to get into a position where you can influence, and you want to be able to influence. All right. Number 2 is, how do you do that? You got to have a relationship with your staff. Whether you're in the military like me and you're a supervisor or NCOIC or you're a section lead, it doesn't matter what positional chain you're in within that rank, or what rank you're in within that positional chain. These efforts can work in your favor for your flight, whether it's big or small. If you're not in the military, this still can work in a large corporation, a small office. Doesn't matter what you do. If you oversee personnel, programs, and processes, you can implement these things. I guarantee the dividends and the return on your interest will be double, if not triple, what you've invested in. Okay, so influence. How do you establish it? By building a relationship. How do you build a relationship? You need to have connections. Build connections with those individuals. Find the connection between you and your personnel. All right, and that's as simple as that. Find out what they do, what on and off duty, what their spouse's name is, what they like to do, their kids' names if they have any, their pets, whatever it might be. Find out what makes them tick, find out what makes them upset, and really invest in them. And once they see that, they're going to know that you provide value, and you value them. And then, I don't know about you, but I've never worked for someone, especially if they don't value what I do, that I'm going to be willing to put in that extra mile, right? So it's really simple as that, guys. It's showing that you value your personnel. They're going to value you back, and they're going to put in that work, they're going to put in that effort, and they're going to knock out those taskers, okay? So connection with someone looks different from connection with another person, okay? You might connect with me on one level, and you have to realize that that connection is different from the connection with somebody else, okay? And that's called individualized consideration. It's being able to strip apart, knowing that no one's cookie cutter, and you understand that they all come with their own uniquenesses, their own habits, their own traits, their own strengths and weaknesses. As Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Bass stated, you know, taking that weakness or taking their strength and complementing your weakness to build a strong team. And that's really what we're all about, right? Building that team. So those three, right? Influence, you need to have a relationship. In order to establish a relationship, you need to build connection. And that connection is really going to come through investing your time with your personnel, okay? Something I'm going to talk about what you don't want to do or stop relying on is stop relying on your positional power. Stop relying on the position in order to establish change. Stop relying on position in order to inflict change or have change. Or especially stop relying on your position to try to influence, because it's not going to work. It's going to come off negative, especially if you haven't established the relationship and the connection first and foremost, okay? So take that for what it is. Those are the 4 things I want to supply you with, and I'm going to wrap it all up in this nice pretty bow, which I believe if you implement, again, will take your team and your leadership level to the next position, okay? If you create or if you build, and if you have already, let me know in the comments down below if you like this stuff, okay? If you have a playful spirit in your work center, and if you allow for that playful spirit to kind of unfold, that's going to lead to creativity, okay? And that creativity is going to lead for those personnel who are completing the job day in and day out, creative ways to complete that job, okay? If you take away some of those policies, doctrine that kind of might be that red tape that holds them back, you're going to create that environment, right? So a playful spirit within the work center leads to creativity. If you create a space that allows for time for creativity and the ability to create an environment that is that allows for failure, you're going to open up the possibilities of your staff creating unhindered, unrestricted solutions for today's, for tomorrow's, and the future's objectives and missions, guys. So it's establishing relationships, communication, connection, trust, right, across the board. Stop relying on your position, and then just create an environment that produces a playful spirit within your work center that allows them to work creatively in that environment, that is not afraid to miss a deadline or get reprimanded or perfection, right? Just allow that creativity to kind of take its role within your work center, and not have that failure mindset. And you're really going to build these unhindered solutions in innovative ways to complete tomorrow's mission, guys. So that's all I had for you. Let me know if you implemented this in your work center or if you're implementing it now. If not, if you try this, try it for a month, keep going. You're going to have to learn a little bit. You're going to have the mental capacity to kind of back away if you're a micromanager to allow this to unfold. You're going to have some social connections and communication with your staff to let them know your intent, vision, and mission moving forward. But nonetheless, I think this is a great initiative to build a cohesive team, a strong team that focuses on that weakness and the strengths, and kind of works together, complementing those along with your leadership skills and abilities, allowing you to build that relationship and communication, trust, and ultimately that connection with your personnel. in that environment that you're going to build and establish that culture of success. So thank you guys so much. Hopefully you guys can chew on these thoughts a little bit throughout the weekend. Again, drop a comment down below, subscribe, and stay tuned to next Friday where I drop another Freestyle Friday sessions. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Thank you again. Bye.